It is now time for your sports update. Well, the Proteas went to the Caribbean and they will be coming back when the T20 series is over with a 2-0 series win against the West Indies. This was, of course, Dean Elgar's first test as captain of the Proteas test side, and he has achieved full marks with regards to that. Well, to discuss what had happened in St. Lucia, I am joined by KHULISO Nemarimela, freelance sports journalist. KHULISO, good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us.
Very good afternoon to you, Faraz, and good afternoon to all your viewers.
No, it's an absolute pleasure to have you. KHULISO, wow, what a performance, not just in the first test, but in the second test. Same ground. We just saw how the spinners performed. We saw how our seamers went, but it was our batting that also stood out. Both departments in both those test matches really showing good quality and class, didn't they?
Yeah, Faraz, I'm not too sure, man. Maybe I'm just looking for perfection here. But I just expected a little bit more from the Proteas team, especially the batters. I knew that the bowlers were going to come through for South Africa when you've got the likes of Andrik Nokia, Kagiso, as well as Lungi with the pace. And then you've got the assistants of Jan Mulder and Keshav Maharaj, who took a brilliant hat trick yesterday. I think they were always going to come through for us, but I think there's still cause for worry a little bit. And I know that I'm probably just being looking for perfection here for us, but when you're looking at our middle order, it looks like it still needs a bit of work here and there. You would have expected Keegan Peterson as well as Kyle Verreynne, to stand up and be counted, knowing very well that one of them will have to make place for Themba Bavuma whenever he comes back to the test team in the upcoming test. So I was happy to see the likes of Quinton de Kock standing up, the likes of Rassie van der Dussen standing up, Dean Elgar as well in the first test stood up for South Africa. So the good thing is we have something to build on, both with the bat and with the ball. And I really expect South Africa to kick on from here on going forward. I don't see us going on to be world beaters in the next year or two, but I think we certainly have something to build on going forward and build a proper team, because we've got a lot of young players. I think about 60 or 70% of the team that we have is still under 28, so we can build a proper team on these players.
Look, Luisa, the reason why I say that, this was an impressive performance is because for the last few series, the standard has been quite low. I mean, this is the first time South Africa have won an away test series since 2017. So, I mean, this is something that we can look at and say, hey, listen, it's a glass half full scenario at this very moment.
Yeah, it is. It is half full. And I really can see them improving. I really can see them coming through. Remember, we went into this one without the likes of Zubair Hamza, who for me, it should be ahead of Kyle and Kyle and Keegan in terms of that betting lineup. But that's a story for another day. But it looks like, even when you look at the pictures, it looks like there's proper camaraderie within the team. They look happy. They look like they want to work together as a team for the next 5-6 years and take South African cricket to where it was in the early 2010s. And I really hope that from here they can build on it. I mean, I know that I'm just being too optimistic, but I really can see them doing better than how they've done this series. And also that bowling attack from the West Indies was not bad either. I think they just struggle with picking moments where they should try, moments that they should capitalize. I mean, to have someone like Kagiso Rabada getting 40 runs on that deck, it should be criminal. So they have to be looking at stuff like that. But for South Africa to pick the runs that they did, and to have a 300 plus runs lead for South Africa, it's a story that we haven't seen or heard in a long time. So it's something to commend.
KHULISO, there was a 60-year record that was broken yesterday, but how good was Keshav Maharaj in breaking that close to 60-year record?
He was brilliant. And I think when we were previewing this, I made the mistake of not going with him as my primary
Eat
spinner.
humble pie, Khuliso. Eat humble pie, my
Yeah.
friend.
I will have my humble pie, but I think he's on his way to be South Africa's best spin bowler of all time. In terms of the number of tests that he has played, and number two, the number of wickets that he's picked up. I think it was his seventh fifer that he got yesterday. But I was talking to you earlier about the camaraderie and the spirit within the team. You know, you and I we've spoken before about how we hate the question, how's the mood in the camp. But when you look at the Proteas camp at this moment, you know, you can tell that the mood is good. They're very good. When you look when he got the first wicket caught in the deep, second wicket caught just next to him, and then that third wicket when it went to Vian Mulder, just at the back there, you could see every single player trying to change Keshav Maharaj, and he had just turned into a mini Imran Tahir there, you know, he didn't know how to celebrate, you know, because it was a brilliant feat. Not only for him, but for South Africa, because our bowlers have struggled over the past 4 or 5 years to keep pressure on the tails. You know, we've really had problems with dealing with a wagging tail. So when you could pick 3 wickets in 3 balls, it means that the pressure that you have built as a bowler, number one, and as a team, as a fielding team, number two, has really caught your opponents napping. And I think personally, I was really happy for Keshav because he's one of my favorite players within the team, even if I did not pick him as my number one spinner going into the first test.
Khuliso, I've just got 2 questions for you. Dean Elgar, his first test series, you and I have both interviewed him on various media platforms,
Yeah.
and he's always been this nice guy willing to speak to the media. You could see that this is something he enjoys, doesn't he? Relishing being the captain of the test team.
He's a natural leader. I mean, wherever he's been in a leadership role, be it at the Knights, be it up here in Pretoria for the Titans. He's always been one of the players that are in the leading role, and he's been captain of the Proteas before, albeit in a standing position. But I always knew that he was going to be good for the Proteas because number one, we get all the leadership and stuff around it. It's fine for us, but at this moment, South Africa is not looking for a team pain kind of captain. We're looking for a captain that's going to come through with the runs. We're looking for a captain that's going to come through and bowl an odd over here and there, you know, just giving the bowlers a rest here and there, you know, maybe get a wicket or maybe slow down the run rate. So Dean Elgar is perfect for all those scenarios. And he's matured, he's experienced, he's one player that, and I was saying this to you earlier, Faraz, last week, I think, or the week before, that his performance or how he does as a captain is not going to define his captaincy or his to define his career with the Proteas from here going forward.
Khuliso, one final question, and we were shifting away from the Caribbean, and we're going to go to Her Majesty's land. That once-off test between New Zealand and India. What a waste. I know it's been raining, but
It's a disaster.
It's a disaster, isn't it, Khuliso?
I don't know whose bright idea it was that we've got a world championship test final coming up. Let's take it to England, you know, and Southampton, and then some of those regions in the northwest, you know, the likes of Manchester. It rains a lot there, and generally in England, in the United Kingdom, it rains a lot. So I do understand that they had a reserve day, but today is day 5. And they're only finishing the first innings. It makes absolutely no sense. I think what the ICC was trying to do, the BCCI and everyone involved in that, it has failed miserably, and they have to relook the whole thing going forward. I don't have a solution. I don't know what will work. I don't know which country they'll go to, which is the summer now, and there's no rain. I mean, even in the West Indies, in the Caribbean, there was rain. So I don't have the solution. I don't have the answer as to where they should have gone or whether they should have done this thing. But it's been a monumental failure, and I don't know how they're going to end up crowning the champions of the world.
Well, unfortunately, India sit currently number one. So, you know, as much as we would have wanted a competition between them and New Zealand, I mean, it's going to be going
They'll have to give them the mace.
Yeah, it's going to be, the mace is going to be going to the BCCI and its officers. KHULISO NEMARIMELA, we say thank you so much for joining us, and we'll definitely have you again on the Daily Factor.
Thank you, Faraz.
KHULISO NEMARIMELA just giving us his breakdown of what happened in the Caribbean. Well, it's 198 for 7 for New Zealand. They are 19 runs behind India's total. But I tell you what, it makes no difference because today's day 5, even if they go into the reserve day tomorrow, there isn't really going to be much to play for. So what a waste of Test cricket that is currently happening in England, which means India will be crowned the world's best Test team. Well, that's all we have from you here on the Daily Factor. From myself, Faraz Patel, the technical team, Jesse, Kabir and Johnny, we say Assalamu alaikum to you. Please do keep safe, and I will see you same time, same place tomorrow.